Welcome to CP101, and this is an update on Superman. We've still got a little bit more work to do on the bottom half. It's almost there though. I've just been going through it and I keep finding more and more as I go, but yeah, he's got a lot of filler on him, but that's just the way it is, I reckon. But he's almost there. Got a new belt buckle on because the old one wasn't formed right. It was misshapen. Half of it was larger than the other half. It was kind of weird. So I just lopped it off and put a brand new one on. Got tired of dicking around with it. So a little bit more work to do on the bottom half, and then we'll put another coat of primer on it, see how it looks, and then we'll go from there. Top half I haven't done anything with. His head we have in red primer now, so that's pretty cool. This is what it looks like with the in red primer. So we've got that just drying, so that's, now you can see a little better how he looks. So there's Superman's head. And still got the base in the Super Clean. I don't think I'm going to use it at all, none of it. I'll just take it out of there, clean it up, take all the old paint off, and just put it away. I figure since I have a unique looking Superman now, because not too many people dick around with that Revell head, most just throw it away, and as it should be. I mean, it's horrible. Some guys won't even buy the Revell kit because they know it sucks what they're going to get. But I figure since he's pretty unique, since I'm the only one I think that's ever taken the time to try to fix it, the head, I thought why not go with a brand new base, make the base unique as well. So that's why we have tape all over him, because I had to put them back together and for some mock-ups concerning the base. When I started thinking about making my own base, my own display for Superman, there were a couple things I wanted to do. One was to make the base to where it wasn't huge. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of shelf space, so it had to be large enough though to hold what I wanted it to hold, because when I was thinking about making a new base for Superman, I thought, you know what, I wanted to include some things that we associate with Superman, some of the items. So there are, at least for me anyway, there are three items that I think of right away when I think of Superman. First one are the glasses that he always wore as Clark Kent. The next one was the Daily Planet. You can't think about Superman, not think about the Daily Planet. I mean, you know, that's part of Superman's life, the Daily Planet. And then of course the third thing is the most obvious, and that's a phone booth. I mean, you can't think about Superman and not think about the phone booth. They always used to change in and fly off as Superman. So those are the three elements that I wanted included in my base. So the first thing I had to do was make sure my base was going to be able to hold all that. So I went out to my garage, got me some styrofoam, and I made this piece here. Now this isn't going to be the base, it's just a mock-up. The base would be made out of plastic. But this is a piece of styrofoam I cut. It's 6 by 9.5, and I think that'll do the trick. And it's going to be displayed kind of sort of like a rectangle here. Remember the old Aurora Frankenstein where it was a long base, kind of going that route. So the base will be 6 by 9.5. The first element was the Daily Planet. I wanted something on here that represented the Daily Planet. So I thought, what better thing than a newspaper machine? So we're going to be adding a Daily Planet newspaper machine. Now this is just, again, a mock-up. This is just paper. We're not going to make it out of paper. We're going to make it out of cardstock, 65-pound cardstock. But this is what it's going to look like on the front. Of course, you got to add the famous line, and it says Daily Planet on the side. And of course, the newspaper says Daily Planet. So that's one element we're going to be adding, is the newspaper machine dispenser. As I said, this will be made out of cardstock. I thought about making it out of plastic, but I thought, cardstock would be much quicker. So I went out and bought me a pack of cardstock. We're going to be using this cardstock called Astro Bright. It is 65-pound paper. It should be plenty thick enough for the newspaper machine. And it's 96 brightness, so it's pretty bright. And that's what we're going to use. And I've already printed out the pattern. Now the pattern I got free from a guy that makes cardstock displays for his action figures. He's a big action figure collector. And his figures are 5 inches, 6 inches high. So I had to scale this up to 1/8 scale. And it's close enough. Not to be exact, but it's close enough. After scaling it up, I printed it out. I scaled it up with Paint Shop Pro. Can't get my mouth working today. And printed it out. Here's the front. Here's the coin thing. And then here's a couple extra newspapers I can add. I can either look up in the sky, or over here where it says Lois Lane wins Pulitzer. We know what that was about. So I can go with either one. And there's also one down here too we can go with. But it'll be either this one or this one. On here I have it as look up in the sky. But here is the machine itself that we'll cut out and put on the display. I think it'll be alright. So that's the one element of the Daily Planet. Next one is the phone booth. It's the second element. Now the phone booth, again, I got from the same guy who makes stuff for cardstock for his action figures. He had a free template for a phone booth. And luckily it was the type of phone booth I was looking for, because I wanted a kind that had the privacy sides. That's what I associate Superman with, because he always changes the phone booth. So I took his template, again, scaled it up. It took me 3 or 4 attempts to get it looking in scale with Superman. As I said, Superman is 1/8. He's almost 10 inches high. So we had to get that phone booth somewhat in that ballpark. And this is what I got. Now this I printed out on cardstock because it was so large. It's going to be made out of plastic though, but you can get the idea on the style of phone booth that we're going to go with. But this will be put on at an angle towards the back. The newspaper dispenser will be out front, and then Superman will be between the two elements. And those are the two of the things that are associated with Superman. So the pair of glasses I'll make, and I'll probably lay them just on the ground as something, as if he threw the glasses on the ground after he changed into Superman. So that's why I had to put them back together, because I had to make sure that everything was going to fit. The cape I might actually put in the phone booth, because I can put Superman on a bit of an angle and actually put some of his cape inside the phone booth. So I can push Superman back a little bit. Kind of, sort of, I need 10 hands here. Be kind of sort of like this. Like this. Kind of, sort of. You get the idea. Let me get his head. I don't know if I can get his head on here or not. It'll probably fall off. It's like a Weeble without... there. Be like that. So that's my idea for the brand new display base. And that's a couple of elements that are associated with Superman. The phone booth, the Daily Planet, and I just got to do the eyeglasses on the ground. I have a whole bunch of plastic coming. I ordered from Evergreen to make the phone booth. So, as I said, this will be made from plastic. This will be made from cardstock. And the design of my phone booth might not exactly be like this. I'm using this as a template to take my measurements So I keep it in scale with Superman here. But it is going to be this style where you have the privacy back and the sides will be this style. Might not be, construction might be a little different. I bought a bunch of square tubing, so I'll basically make the framework out of the square tubing, and then I'll use my sheet stock for the back and sides. The phone emblem, I'm not going to be using this style emblem. I found a graphic that says Metropolis in the cityscape. That's what we're going to put on the phone booth, because again, you can't think of Superman without thinking of Metropolis, where he did his thing at. So anyway, that's where we are at. That's my idea and plans. I think I can pull it off. Now that I have these made out of cardstock, they'll make a great pattern for me and make it much easier to cut the plastic and do what I need to do to get it looking pretty spiffy. So, alright guys, I think I've gone on long enough. That's it for the Superman update. Take care. We'll see you in the next one.